Hello everyone, and once again welcome back. My name is Eclipse Gaming Videos, and today we're going to be playing a little bit of Minecraft. And right now this is an unfamiliar territory for you guys, and that is because this is the new and updated castle. And in this episode I'm actually going to tell you guys a couple secrets to really building some good stuff. Alright, so yeah, no, there's not a whole lot to see. I mean, yeah, there's a whole bunch to see, but I'll go ahead and reveal all that stuff in another world tour sooner or later. Right, but now I want to jump into it because this is going to be like a major Minecraft tips on building and such, right? So, first off, let's go ahead and, yeah, like, say, what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to try to give you guys some real tips as to what you guys should be doing on, as far as castles go and such, and I really want to do something about this. Hang on, I'm going to go ahead and sleep real fast, and then we'll get into everything. Now, I'm not really the greatest YouTube commentator or anything whatsoever, but, yeah, so, but bear with me for a second as you try to watch as I do this very unorganized, little world tour / thingamajig. Okay, so, anyways, as soon as I get done sleeping. Alright, so, here we go. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and run back out front just so that you guys can see some of the stuff that I like to do in some of my buildings. And these are going to be like general ideas. So, yeah, you do not have to follow these whatsoever. These are just things that I have come up with and that I have found to be very successful. Alright, good. Alright, now that it appears to be free of creepers. Alright, so, let's go ahead and jump into it. So I'm going to go ahead and start with castles. So with castles, you can see my very elaborate entrance. What you want to do is you want to make the first facial appearance about as symmetrical as possible. You see, I mean, like with a few minor details, like I put mossy cobblestone and such in some of the areas. That's just to make it look a little bit spiffier, right? So what you want to try to do, why is that so messed up? Okay, that's gonna bother me forever. But anyways, I could see the chest sticking out. They're doing yeah. All right, who cares? But anyways, what you want to do here is you want to try to make the face about as symmetrical as possible with a walk-up path to it. Now, the walk-up is generally something that defines a castle. Like, see, I made it very elaborate with these rail train things, whatever you call them, and then I got these large torches over on the side there. And I got these little sitting park bench areas and such. And what I did is I made it about as tall as I could possibly get it. Not really as tall as I could possibly get it, but as tall as I was comfortable with making it. Right? And then I made sure that there was a gate and such like that. Alright, and one thing that I like to make sure that I always do is put something above the actual entrance into the castle like that. These little horns or whatever you want to call them. I think it makes it look really nice. And yeah. Alright, so now after you've moved off from the face of the castle, what you want to do is you want to make some like unsymmetrical like things that don't really make a whole lot of sense right behind it. So you could see that kind of throws off the symmetricality of it. And yeah. Alright. So with castles too, I want to try to make them about as open as possible so that you can really see how large they actually are. Alright, and now we're going to go ahead and move on to actual houses. So, what I'm talking about right now, so we're moving on to right now, is actually, we're going to be talking about main houses. So, not the ones that you build afterwards or anything. I'm talking about your very first house. What you want it to be and what you want it to look like. Like, you don't have to do anything that I'm talking about. Like, you guys might have totally different ideas. And, yeah. Alright, so, hang on. Let me get up into my viewpoint here. Right up here. Okay, so, you see here, this is my very first house and my main house. What is that doing? Okay, I'm sorry. Alright, so, now this is my very first house and my very main house. And what you can see here is that there's a lot of unsymmetricality here. What you want to do is you want to start off, you want to have like a nice walk up. You want to have a yard. You want to make sure that you have a yard and everything. It's all about presentation mainly. So like you can see here, I've got like this walk up. I got this little village farm thing. Yeah, you want to make sure that you have your essentials within reach on your main house. So like sugarcane. I mean, you got trees all over the place. You got your farm over there and such. And then you also have like a lead down into a cave. I got one right there. I've got one behind the waterfall over there. And yeah. So a lot of the times, like, see, I have this like garden oasis and such. But I try to use the trees to my advantage, right? So I think that the trees in this game look awesome. So I'll use the birch trees in some places, and I'll use the regular, I'll use spruce trees. Like that was for like a Christmas special that never happened. It'll happen this year, I swear. But yeah, so you want to make your main house pretty unsymmetrical, like unsymmetricality everywhere. There's like occasionally on the inside, it's okay to put some symmetrical stuff, but yeah. So going from room to room in your main house, you don't want to do it. Because I know there's a lot of things, like a lot of people, what they do is they make a huge, wide open, like grand entrance, like some modern home. They make it like a straight up mansion. But no, main house is something that you add on bit by bit. Like this right here, that little stone area, that used to be what this house was, and I added on that, and it just blew up. Like this whole thing, it used to be part of that little hill. And I just mined the whole thing out and made it really cool. Alright, so now that we moved on from that, let's go ahead and go to secondary houses. So my secondary house, the second one that I ever built, was what I'd like to call the mountain house. I called it the mountain house, as you could probably imagine, because it's up on a mountain. Yeah, very, very clever idea from me, right? Yeah, that's just one of my friend's houses. Alright, so up here, mountain house, nothing special. Secondary houses are something that you don't really use a lot. Alright, so it's got some stuff, like it didn't really take you a whole lot of time to build. It's just something that you go to and it's like, hey, that's kind of cool. Or that's not cool. Like, why did I ever build that? But when you build a secondary house, you want to put it in a very unusual spot. Like something that you want to do, but you really never fully do it. So that's why I built it up on a mountain, because I always wanted to build a big old mountain house. And I kind of got this inspiration from a show that I watched one time. And yeah, okay. So anyways, moving on. So this took me probably 3 or 4 days to build. I made it on my second, well really it was my primary channel at the time. But I made this whole thing, you can see like the whole building of it and everything on the first channel. If you click, I believe, hi, my name is Eclipse Gaming Videos video, you'll be able to click on a link. If you're not on mobile, you should be able to click a link and take you back to my original jump shoot. Well, crap. And yeah, so this is gonna be something that you just mess around at. Like you got a nice kind of pretty little view and everything. There's not like a whole real method to doing this. This is just kind of like your half-ass house, like nothing that's really overly special. It's like something that's just kind of extra. Alright, so then we're gonna go on to a tertiary house, and if you don't know what that is, that's my big word standing for the third house. Okay, so yeah, just making it sound pretty spiffy. Alright, and oh, so I've got 2 castles, so if you guys aren't like ready to do some kind of full out castle like I did, I've also got a secondary castle that you guys can see. It's also pretty cool. It's actually still not even finished, so I think later I'm going to do that. Alright, so I'm just giving like all this, I'm just giving you the main type of houses, right? So survival houses, they're gonna be small, like compact, straight to the point. If you guys know what you guys get what I'm saying. So like it's just gonna be like a 10 by 10 structure, maybe 2 floors. It's got a bunch of chests, smelting, enchanting, brewing, like all that kind of stuff, and including a farm outside and such. Alright, so but this is a cave. So again, this is one of the main types of houses that people like to build. It's really one that's not really appreciated so much as some of the other houses. And by the way, if you've been keeping up on most of my videos, there's definitely been some renovations. And in most of my so a lot of buildings, like a lot of builders, they like to use symmetricality. If you're like one of those guys who like lives by symmetricality, and like I know Rage Gaming videos, he lives by symmetricality, and if it's not symmetrical, he's just like, get out. Alright, but no, if you guys are one of those people, throw all of that out the window completely, because in a cave, there is nothing symmetrical about it. Like maybe the main entrance to it, kind of. But the why caves are so cool is because they are completely unique from every other one. Like you might try to replicate mine, but I mean, yeah, I wouldn't blame you. This is a cool cave. Like you want to make sure, like again, this is like one of those things, it's kind of like your main house. You've got all your necessary stuff, right? Except it's going to be inside. Alright, so you want to keep almost everything under the ground. I realized that kind of stuck out on the farm and everything. That was, like looking back at that, I didn't really like that. But, yeah, moving on. So, no, so you want to, since you're in a cave, right? So you want to use some of your surroundings to your advantage. Like I used here with the bedroom, you can see, you can look up at the stars and such, the little pixelated stars. Alright. So, you want to have, like, the main things that you want accessible, like, as soon as you come in, right? Like, enchanting, brewing, I mean, and then, like, all this kind of stuff, and then chests downstairs. And, I actually managed to spawn upon find a spider spawner. And, I think, actually, finding a spawner is pretty crucial with, caves. Just because of the fact that it kind of adds an eerie attitude to it all. And, so, once you get off of the main part of the cave, then you want to go off in some separate direction. Doesn't matter if it's down, up, like no more sun after that, right? So all the sun is gone, and then you're just going off of glowstone and such. All right, now what I do, I generally do brick. I generally do brick floors just because of the fact that I think it looks really good in caves for whatever reason. I don't know why, but yeah. And this is the new part that you guys have yet to see, any long-time subscribers. Yeah, so the cave, this is all new, right? So down here, again, because caves are going to be pretty big, you're going to have, like, your all separate stuff. And, like, what I do, especially, is I make, like, a little exploring area down to a strip mine. So, yeah. And, your cave, you want it to resemble a fortress in many ways. But that's just me. That's my perspective. You guys, this is like a video to help you guys build. This is a how-to. This is tips and tricks to building cool, awesome houses in Minecraft. Alright, so, going ahead and moving on, and let's go to, like, the smaller castle. And then we'll go on to a tree. Nope, I gotta sleep. Okay, so then we're gonna go into a tree house, which is something that barely anybody will ever do. And I really am not too happy with my tree house, just out of the fact that, because the day after I finished my tree house, the world height was expanded, which just made me pretty unhappy. I can't lie, it did make me pretty unhappy, just due to the fact. I gotta look for creepers. Doesn't look like there's too many, so we'll get a move on. All right, so. And again, so all these tips, don't be hating or anything, right? Don't be saying you couldn't be more wrong. This is just my perspective. Like, you guys are trying to build, you don't know what to do. You're playing Minecraft. Your parents aren't home and you want to do something. Like, you just got grounded from Minecraft, but then your parents leave and you're like, ooh, what can I do now? Yeah, but yeah. All right, so now we're gonna go over onto, we'll call it the budget castle. So with the budget castle, it's going to be something that you basically put into a mountain. So there's not a whole lot of stuff sticking out, so you don't really have to do the whole thing in appearance. It's going to be basically an interior appearance type deal. Alright. And then we're going to go, after that, we're just going to go like some surroundings and such. Yeah, and before we do that, we have to do the tree house as well. Let me see. I wish I would have turned on host privileges so that I could fly. This is just taking forever. Let me see. I don't even know what the fastest way to get back there is. I'm pretty sure it would be this way. Yeah, it is. Alright. So again, in this kind of house, in your main house, you want to have like an armory. We're gonna have everything within reach, because after all, this is like your main base. This is everything that you've ever worked for. And after you find that your first house is complete, then that's when you move on to the other stuff that I'm showing you. So there's the big old treehouse. Treehouse you want to keep pretty basic. You want to make sure that most of the things, like most of the living area, is up top. Right? And put a lot of leaves there so that you guys can as well. So that you guys can have, like, you can kind of build into the leaves. That's what I kind of did there. Again, don't take my advice for it. You can go click on some of the suggested videos. But these are mine. Alright, so this is what we'll call the budget castle, right? And with this, you want to always have, with every castle, you want to have kind of a spiffy walk up. With this though, yeah, like I use water. I think the water looks really nice on these kind of castles. Just the whole type deal. And I would say that you should use regular fence, except for the fact that, like, I usually make some kind of contrast thing right on the appearance. Like, yeah, alright, so I'm gonna stop talking to you. Like, with the appearance of the castle, like with budget castle, you want to try to make it pretty symmetrical, but like, as far as entrance goes, you want to make it symmetrical. You want to have like your little kitchen area here. Downstairs, that can be whatever you want, because downstairs it isn't even finished for me right now. Yeah, that's whenever I realized that I did this castle not fully to what I wanted to, right? So, being that this is kind of like your little budget castle, you've got some room for some new stuff that you can do that you didn't realize that you could do before. Now, the problem for the main castles is that you really gotta find space for it. And this one, all you gotta do is just carve it right into a mountain. Just like this. Use a little bit of redstone to reveal that. Close it. There we go. Alright. Alright, so then we move on. And here we go. And then the bedroom is gonna be like the most elegant part of the entire build. You wanna keep, like, with this kind of castle, if you don't do it absolutely huge, and you're just gonna, like, try to make it symmetrical, try to make it pretty nice and neat and tidy, right? So I like to do this whole contrast: fire, water, lava, all that kind of stuff. That's just me, doesn't have to be you. Alright, so and then, I mean, there's not really a whole much to this kind of castle. This is something that you can kind of put your own little spin on. I like the fact that I carved it into a mountain. Just because of the fact, I mean, it's something that you don't usually see. It's kind of like a cave in some sorts, in some ways, but then it's kind of not in the others. Alright. And then we're going to go over onto our basic treehouse. So this is going to be something that you're going to almost always want to build in creative, just out of the fact that finding resources for this is going to be ridiculous. I mean, look at all the wood. It's a lot of wood. Alright. And you see, you want to make sure that you get like a nice root system going, just because of the fact that it makes it look really nice. Makes it actually pretty spiffy, right? And so I really want to add on to this in many ways. And so we're going to go ahead and go up to the top. There should be like a little, because with this treehouse there is going to be quite a few dangers, you know, falling off here. I fall off, I take damage, that kind of thing. Alright, so now what I did is I put and almost the very top of the treehouse, I put a little storage area and stuff like that. And so with this, you're gonna always have branches and vines and such sticking off, and then you're gonna have some kind of cool little thing, because this is just, again, this is not at all like the house that you would live in. This is just something that it's like, hey, check this out. This is almost like a storage unit in many ways. Alright, so that's pretty much all I have to show you guys. So those are my tips on building houses, building cool houses, building nifty little houses and such. You don't have to take any of the stuff that I say seriously. You can totally push it off. You can totally troll too. You can just go in the comments and say, dude, you are such an idiot. But, yeah, those are my thoughts. Don't be hating on them. If you guys liked what I had, then go ahead and click the subscribe button. I'll be doing more videos like this. And for all you long-time watchers, I apologize for not uploading recently. There was a hard drive issue on my computer, and I just now finally found the time to sort it out. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. be sure to click that like button if you liked the video. And if you want to see more content like this, and be sure to press that subscribe button to stay up to date with all of my newest videos. And if you've got a Twitter, then go ahead and follow me. My username is EclipseGaming14, just the same as my username, my Xbox Live gamer tag there. And yeah, I'm a Zombies player, Minecraft player, and all that kind of stuff. Send me an invite if you want to play. Alright, see you guys. And there's been Eclipse Gaming videos, and I'm out.